If you clicked on this video, you're probably publishing low content books on KDP. But not only that, you're probably not even making the amount of money that you really want to make. Whether it's $100, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, doesn't really matter. The amount of money doesn't matter. Now, the whole reason you're not profitable with your low content books is because you're making this one mistake. So here's the thing: if you're publishing low content books, it's probably for one of these three reasons. Now, I'm not a psychic. I'm just taking a wild guess. So here's your low content book. This is a low content book. I'm going to type in L. Brilliant square or rectangle. I don't know. So the first reason you're probably publishing low content books is because it's super cheap to make. It's not super cheap, but it's cheap to make. So every time I talk about a low content book, I'm just going to refer to it as a coloring book. So if you want to make a coloring book, it costs you like $5, maybe $10, maybe $15 for an illustration. And it's super cheap to make. And not only is it cheap, you can make it pretty fast as well. You can get a coloring book done in a week, in 2 weeks, maybe a month maximum. But a coloring book won't take more than a month. And the third reason, especially now, is because of AI. With AI, you basically eliminate these two. You don't really have to pay for much. Maybe you pay the premium version of Midjourney. I don't know what you're doing, but it's very, very cheap to make, if not free. So you can make the coloring pages inside with AI for free. You can probably get it done all within a day. You just type in a few prompts and it will give everything to you. And the best part is you don't even have to talk to any humans. It's just you, your computer, and you can have a book done within a day. Those are the reasons that you probably want to publish a low content book. Now, if we take a high content book, what do you have to do with a high content book? Well, with a high content book, there's a bunch of words inside. You have to get an outline, and then you have to send the outline to the ghostwriter, and then they have to write the book for you. Now, most high content books range from 15,000 words to maybe 45, 50,000 words. Now, for a ghostwriter to write a book for you, that's going to cost you way more money than it will for an illustrator to make illustrations for you, in most cases. I usually pay around $800, maybe 1.2K for a ghostwriter to write 30,000 words, depending on the quality of the ghostwriter. So high content books are much more expensive. But not only are they more expensive, guess what? They take way more time. Way longer to make a high content book. If you give a ghostwriter 30,000 words to write, it would take him maybe a month, maybe 40, 45 days to write it. And that's only for writing the book. It takes a while. It takes me around 2 months to actually make a good, solid book. And now the final point is you can't really use AI with high content books. The maximum you can use AI for is to help you make the outline or help you get some information. AI is not really going to help you make a really high quality, high content book. So in most cases, you probably have to outsource everything. If you're going to outsource everything, you actually have to talk to human beings. You can't just type in a prompt and then it comes up. You have to learn how to communicate. You probably have to make the outline yourself. You have to gather all the information, do your niche research, do your market research, understand what the customer wants, give your designer a brief. You have to give your ghostwriter an outline for your book, send that final ghostwritten manuscript to an editor. Then from the editor, you have to send to a proofreader. And then you end up with just the interior. And you have to format the book correctly. You have to put the headings and the page numbers and the chapter titles and everything. It just takes so much longer. It's a little bit more expensive. And there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of different people that you have to talk to. So this part here is the front end of your business. When I talk about the front end, what I mean is everything you have to do before you hit the publish button. So here's what most KDP YouTubers do. Most KDP low content YouTubers are going to tell you, hey, do low content books. It's much cheaper, much faster. You can use AI to basically do everything. You can probably get a book for free. You can put it up and start making money. And that's true to a certain extent. But there's one thing they don't tell you about this. I'm not trying to diss any YouTubers. I'm not trying to diss anyone in the community. But they only promise you the easy part for low content books, which is on the front end. What they don't talk about is the back end. And that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video. But here's where it gets interesting. On the back end, things change. And this is what no one's talking about. So let's say you have your low content book. You spent a week making it. You used AI to make it. Maybe you got some good illustrations. Maybe you pay for a cover design. No matter what your case is, you have your low content book. Very easy to make. And then you also have your high content book. Took you 2 months to make. You had to talk to a bunch of people, get all the moving parts together, put everything together. And now you got your high content book. For low content books, the maximum you can possibly charge for a low content book is around $10, because that's basically just what the marketplace is going to pay for a low content book. Let's just say we have a coloring book. We have a dinosaur coloring book. Here I want to type dino. You got a dinosaur coloring book, and here you have a dinosaur high content non-fiction book. It teaches kids everything about dinosaurs. And this one you just color in dinosaurs. So this book, you can charge maybe $10 for it. The high content book, you can probably charge around $15 for it. Actually, you know what? Let's actually go and check. Let's look at the dinosaur coloring books. $4.99, $5.99, $3.99, $5.99, $2.99, $6.99, $6.99, $6.99, $6.99, $8.99. So you can see the marketplace for a dinosaur coloring book is around $6, $7. If we're going to publish a dinosaur coloring book, yeah, it's going to be easy at the start, but the most we can possibly charge for it is around $6. Because why would someone buy our $10 dinosaur coloring book when they can buy this one here? 7,000 reviews, $6. You can see it's already selling. It's on 5,000. Let's just pretend that we can sell it for $10. We got a dinosaur coloring book for $10. What about a dinosaur high content book? Dinosaur book for kids. Let's see what comes up. You got here, DK. DK is a big one. Everything's about facts. Dinosaur encyclopedia for kids. Facts about dinosaurs, $24. Okay, let's just say a dinosaur encyclopedia for kids. You can see that the prices are much, much higher. You see, this one is a coloring book, which is why it's $5.90, $6.99 real price. This one is $12.99, and it's a National Geographic book. I'm going to charge $15 for it. So here's the thing. Let's open up a KDP calculator. You can put in everything about your book, and it will tell you exactly how much money you're going to make. We've got a paperback, black and white, inches. We want 8.5 by 11 if we're going to do a coloring book. Page count, let's say we got 100 pages, and the list price, we got, $10. $10 for, by the way, is $6.99 is like the maximum you could charge for a dinosaur coloring book. But let's just say we found a niche, you can publish a coloring book for $10. We're making $3.16. Let's just write $3 just to be safe. Can I turn this green? Let's go green. $3 is your profit. Now, what about our high content book? Let's say it even has more pages because it's a high content book and we're charging $15 for it. This one is going to be a 6x9. That's usually what the high content book trim size is. Now, because it's a kid's book, maybe you can go higher or lower, but this is the standard traditional publishing size, trim size. $15, you make $6.20. So if we rounded this one down, we'll round this one down as well. $6. This is where it gets really interesting. Look at this. What's the increase from $10 to $15? Well, that's an increase of 50%. Looks like it says so, but that's a 5. That's an increase of 50%. So even though the high content book has more pages, which means the printing cost is higher, the increase of price is 50%, but the increase in royalties is 100%. Even though we only increased the price by 50%, we got double the royalties. So if our goal is to make $300 a month, let's say our goal is $300 a month, how many dinosaur coloring books do we have to sell at a $3 profit to make $300 a month? Well, we have to sell 100 copies. But how many copies of the high content book do we have to sell? Well, we only have to sell 50. We have to sell half the copies to make the same amount of money. So looking at this, looking at KDP from a business perspective, if you're going to start a business selling books, which one do you think will make it easier for you to succeed? Is it easier to sell 100 copies of a book, or is it easier to sell 50 copies of a book? I would pick the 50. So even though it's much easier on the front end to make a low content book, it's much, much harder on the back end to make the money. So most people that publish low content books are willing to go for the easy start, but then suffer the consequences in the long run. But high content publishers are willing to take the hard route at the start so it can be easier in the long run. I would rather spend 2 months making a book, but then not really have to worry about it for the next 10, 12, 24 months, because it's just selling itself. Much easier to make $300 with 50 copies than $300 with 100 copies. Now, here's where it gets really, really interesting. But this is what everyone's always concerned about. Everyone's always concerned about ads. Well, let's look at the ads. We have a dinosaur coloring book and we have a dinosaur encyclopedia. For every one sale, the coloring book gets $3. You make $3. For every high content book sale, the encyclopedia makes you $6. Now, if you understand how ads work, you only pay for the click. If someone clicks on your book, you pay for it. Let's say both books have the same cost per click, 50 cents. If we run ads and someone clicks on our advert, we're going to pay 50 cents for that click. How many clicks can our coloring book afford before it breaks even? Well, we have to make a sale every 6 clicks in order for us to break even, not even make money. If we make one sale every 6 people that click on our book from the adverts, we're breaking even on the ads. Let's look at the high content book. How many clicks do we need? We need 12 clicks. So if we make one sale every 12 clicks, we're safe. We're breaking even. Now again, let me ask you, which one is more likely to succeed? Is it easier to make a sale every 6 clicks, or is it easier to make a sale every 12 clicks? I would rather have the 12 clicks because that means I can afford to lose more people before I make the sale. So my chances of succeeding with ads is much bigger. Now, here's the thing with ads. Most products on Amazon have an average conversion rate of 10%. 10% is the average. If you put A+ content, you can get it higher. If you have high reviews, you can increase your conversion rate. There's loads of ways to increase your conversion rate, but the average is 10%. Let's say both these books have an average conversion rate of 10%. That means for every 10 clicks, one person buys. Every 100 clicks, 10 people buy. Every 1,000 clicks, 100 people buy. That's what 10% conversion rate means. So let's just say both these books have an average of a 10% conversion rate. In order for this low content book to succeed, to break even with the ads, 16% conversion rate in order to succeed, in order to break even with the ads. Because for every 6 clicks, if you get one sale, that's a 16% conversion rate, which is higher than average. It just has to be a really, really good book and a really quality listing. Now, what about the high content book? We break even. If we have a 16% conversion rate, we break even with the ads, but the average is 10. So this one has to be above average to break even. But the high content book only needs an 8% conversion rate to break even with the ads. So this one can be below average and still break even. So what happens when this high content book is just average? Well, you make money from your ads. Your ads become profitable, even if your book is only average. But for your ads to be profitable with a low content book, it has to be above average. So even though low content books are very, very easy to create at the start, they're very difficult to become profitable in the long run on the back end. And high content books, they're scary at the start and they require a lot more effort, but they're much easier to succeed in the long run, in the back end. But the mistake you're making with low content books is publishing them. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I just see KDP as a business and I'm trying to show you how to think of it as a business. And I've published many low content books and I've also published many high content books. The low content books just gave me a bunch of stress. The high content books gave me a bunch of money. So I'm asking you, which one do you prefer? Do you want stress or do you want money? That's a decision you're going to have to make. I can't convince you to start making high content books. I'm just giving you the information and you make your own decision. But if you enjoyed this type of video, let me know and I can make a bunch more for you. So yeah, if you still want to publish low content books, that's okay. I'm not stopping you. I'm just trying to show you that most of the times it's harder. Not all the times. I'm not saying you can't succeed with low content books. I'm just saying it requires a little bit more effort. And I'm not saying making high content books is going to make you a millionaire, but it just requires a little less effort on the back end. With that being said, you're free to make your own decision. You're free to comment whatever you want down below. You can say that I'm wrong. That's okay. You're entitled to your own opinion. But yeah, good luck.